Earlier this week, I listed out my top 10 favorite NASCAR paint schemes from this last season, but today, we're looking at the stinkers. How's it going, everybody? My name is Eric and welcome to Out of the Groove. And yeah, I basically summarized what we're doing in this video at the very beginning, so not a lot to say there. If you missed my top 10 NASCAR paint schemes of the 2018 season video, I encourage you to go check that out before or after this. I guess it doesn't really matter. But today, we're focusing on the ones I didn't like, the ones that just didn't impress me or in some cases just outright offended me. I like to think of myself as at least a somewhat artistic person who knows a little bit about design, but I think some of these paint schemes would just anger anyone anyways. So yeah, same rules apply from earlier this week. I'm looking at paint schemes that are exclusive to this year 2018. I'm not going to focus on any of the Darlington throwback schemes because technically those are from previous years. I'm looking at 2018 specific paint schemes. So with that being said, let's jump right in. Top 10 least favorite paint schemes of 2018. Let's go. At number 10, we're going to start with a controversial one. I almost didn't put it on this list, but I just don't like this. This is Chase Elliott's patriotic scheme run during the Coca-Cola 600 race weekend. All of Hendrick Motorsports ran patriotic schemes, and I liked pretty much all of them. In fact, I had Jimmy Johnson's paint scheme as one of my top 10 favorites from this whole year. But this one's just not good. I get that it's red, white, and blue because it's patriotic, but because Napa Auto Parts sponsors the car, they had to slap a lot of weird yellow on this thing. It's just weird to me. You know, like he's had patriotic Napa cars in the past that were more red, white, and blue, but this one's just, it's more yellow than anything. It just doesn't work. It just feels like too many colors colliding. It didn't work for me. I'm sorry, I tried. I looked at this one extremely hard, but I have to put it at number 10. I don't hate it, but I definitely do not like it. Number 9, I have Erik Jones's Racers car. Now this paint scheme, on the surface, I don't hate it. It's plain black, which I'm not really a fan of just plain colors like that, but I do like the red trim on the roof and on the, the bottom of the car. All that with the Toyota front end doesn't look too bad. I don't hate it. But come on, the only design on this car is a tub of potato salad. That's literally what that says, potato salad. I'm sorry, but putting a tub of potato salad on the side of a NASCAR race car is not cool. It's not. I'm sorry, it's just, I can't take it seriously. It's not a cool looking paint scheme. I have to put it on this list. I don't hate it, but potatoes. Number 8, this one's also maybe gonna be kind of controversial. Ryan Blaney's Pennzoil car, he won the Roval in this paint scheme. But God, I hate this paint scheme. It's hideous. Ryan Blaney had a lot of hit or miss cars. You know, his main neon, like Menards car, looked pretty cool. I like the neon yellow, those are neat. But then he had some stinkers, like that red Dex car I almost put on this list. And then this one, like what is happening? You have like 2 different shades of yellow and they're just like fighting each other and the design's not cool. This is an ugly car. The green Monster Energy trim does not help either. I mean, oh God, this is so bad. The tires and then the number on the side match, but then the entire front end, roof, rear end are all completely different yellow, but it's like only a little different. Like if it was a completely different shade of yellow, I could maybe understand it, maybe it would work, but they're like not different enough. It's just, who signed off on this? This was a terrible idea. They should have just made the number and the tires the same yellow as the Pennzoil and it would have looked fine. It might have looked like Joey Logano, but it would have looked fine. This is hideous. Who signed off on this? It's a shame he had to win in this car. Number 7, I had a Kyle Busch paint scheme on my top 10. I also have to put this one on my bottom 10. This one sucks. Not only is it Snickers Almond, which, does that even exist? Has anyone ever seen that? Are they good? But also look at this paint scheme. It's boring, Kyle Busch has a lot of great paint schemes. The Snickers have usually been my least favorite. And this one's just, ugh. The base colors on the front of this thing are white and brown. I know they got the blue and the red in there as well, but the fact that the first thing you see when this car comes driving straight at you is white and brown, I don't like it. This is an ugly paint scheme. I'm not a fan. At number 6, I have Danica Patrick's car. She only raced one time this year, Daytona 500, and it was supposed to be a great big reunion between her and her longtime sponsor, GoDaddy. But Lord, it looks like GoDaddy put no effort into this paint design. I mean, the green isn't even the same green that they used to race with. I compared the two. It's slightly off. Not to mention the boring logo on the hood. It looks like somebody just typed in GoDaddy with like Arial font. And then the rear end just becomes black. Who cares at this point? Black paint was probably cheaper than green paint or whatever. I don't know. That's probably the only reason for it. This car is ugly. This car is bad. It was disappointing. I was excited. Danica's last race in NASCAR, reuniting with GoDaddy. Ho-ho, GoDaddy schemes have had some good ones in the past. And then they wheeled this out before the 500 and I was like, this is hideous. Oh my God. At number 5, what am I even looking at? This is an Austin Dillon paint scheme. It's just too much kind of going on, but not really. And the base paint being white is already kind of boring to me. Ugh. And I see there's a little cat on the hood. What's this, Scooper Cat? What is this sponsor? Is this literally a sponsor for picking up cat poop? Is this literally a sponsor for something that picks up cat poop? poop. On a NASCAR race car, I'm sorry. This isn't cool, this doesn't look good, this looks like a bad 90s infomercial. No. I get that some race teams need sponsors, but just say no when they come knocking at your door. I mean, gosh. All it's missing is a little as seen on TV decal somewhere. Then it would be just, it would still be ugly. At number 4, I said earlier this week I like yellow and black cars, but they didn't even try on this one for William Byron. I mean, literally, there is no design. They just stuck a harsh yellow on it and slapped the logo on with no real detail whatsoever. The number on the side isn't even a different color. This car is just boring. And what makes it worse is that it catches your eye because it's so bright and in your face, but the moment you look at it, you're just bored. It's not a good looking car. Maybe it's just me feeling weird because I haven't really seen a yellow 24 car ever, but I just don't like it, man. It's a shame. William Byron had some interesting paint schemes this year, but this one, I wish they could have done so much more with it. That's kind of what it is. I'm disappointed. They could have done a lot more because I like yellow and black cars. I think yellow and black could look really cool, but no, this is boring. Speaking of boring, look at number 3, Chris Buescher's. This was run during the throwback weekend at Darlington, but again, it was not an actual throwback paint scheme. This paint scheme has never specifically been used before. It was just a throwback to the old Busch Beans logo. So technically, this is a unique to 2018 paint scheme, unfortunately, and I'm falling asleep just looking at this paint scheme. It's boring. It's just white with no design. The logo doesn't look good. Busch's Beans, I'll give you credit. You've improved your logo since like 1890 or whenever this is from. Oh my gosh. What executive looked at this design and thought, oh yeah, that's definitely gonna improve brand recognition. Perfect. I mean, I literally can't say anything about it because there's nothing there. It is boring. It is the most boring thing I've ever seen. You thought the potato salad was bad earlier? This one's just got a can of beans on the side. Not much better. It's a disaster. Oh. But while that one was boring, at number 2, this one's just stupid to me. Ryan Newman, I don't know how many races he ran this. I think only 1 or 2. He had a couple different Liberty paint schemes, but this one's just, I told you how some of these, the design on some of these was just offensive. This is what I'm talking about. I get it, the company's called Liberty National. We're supposed to be patriotic. Let's put some red stripes on the front. Let's put the blue in the back. Red, white, and blue. Haha! But then who in their right freaking mind decided to slap a lime green number on the door and on the roof? Who decided that made sense? Because yeah, when I think America, I think red, white, and blue, and then a big freaking dollop of green right there. This doesn't make sense to me. I mean, even without the green, I don't really like the red stripes on the front. This might have made my list anyways, but the fact that it's at number 2 is purely because of what were they thinking making the number so green like that? What? This car just doesn't match. It's a mess. This paint scheme, you know what? I bet you when Ryan Newman walked into RCR and saw this paint job on his car, that was probably the moment he decided he was going to sign with Roush. No, it's just terrible. Before we go to number 1, like I did the other day, I'll throw up my honorable mentions here. So yeah, a lot of these I didn't love. They had moments, things about them I liked, but more than anything, I didn't really like these that much. But they weren't quite bad enough to make my worst 10 list. But there's your honorable mentions. There's my honorable mentions at least. And I again want to say thank you to everyone on Twitter who sent me their nominees for worst paint scheme this year. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss any, so I'm glad that so many of you guys sent me photos of some of your least favorite schemes. I poured through a lot of them. I agreed with you guys on a lot of them as well, so you probably saw some on this list. But without further ado, let's get to number 1. The number 1 worst paint scheme in NASCAR this season goes to none other than Timmy Hill. Oh, I don't like this one at all. Oh, I just don't know where to start with this. Some of you may disagree, but I mean, like the colors on the side remind me of Go-Gurt. You guys remember Go-Gurt? Does Go-Gurt still exist? I have like freaking war flashbacks to spilling Go-Gurt all over myself in elementary school at lunch. And the colors on the side, they're faded, they look ugly. Again, the front end's just black, which is just boring. It's no design, there's just black. There's some coins or freaking Chuck E. Cheese tokens on the side of it. I just don't like this car at all. I know he ran that ugly Waltrip throwback, but that was a throwback, so I didn't throw that one out here, but this one's just as bad, if not worse. Green and pink I don't really like on race cars that much by themselves. They combined them to make this paint scheme. They tried to save it by throwing some blue in there, but then the black front end, the silly design with tokens or whatever on there. And to be honest, I'd almost forgotten about this paint scheme. He only ran it a couple times. It was basically running 38, so you never saw it on TV. I hardly even remembered it until I started searching at paint schemes to make this video. And then when I saw it, it all just came back, hit me how angry I am with this paint scheme. I don't really know why. Maybe it's just personal preference, but oh Yes, please take those away. I do not want to see those ever again. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you agree, disagree on some of those. Yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram. As always, those links are down below. Or you can sponsor the show like Michael Harrison, Mentally Defective, Tice Moore, Cameron James, and the rest of these amazing Patreon supporters. We've added a couple new in the last week, which I really appreciate. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out that top link below. And thanks to those who choose to support. It really helps me out directly. And gosh, it means a ton. NASCAR YouTube Pro Series starts tomorrow, a NASCAR Heat 3 league that a bunch of your favorite YouTubers, including myself, are competing in. First race is tomorrow night at 9 o'clock Eastern. You can follow the NASCAR YouTube Pro Series YouTube account to watch live. You can also watch, I'll be uploading my POV of the race the next day that you can watch recorded if you want as well. So come support me, support a bunch of your other favorite YouTubers, check all that out, and yeah, hope to see you there. Thanks as always for watching, everybody. I should have another Out of the Groove up early next week, so stay tuned for that. Thanks as always, and I will see you shortly. Have a good one, everyone.